Hello, my name is Debbie Reynolds. They call me the Data Diva. I want to talk a bit about the federal data privacy law, possible legislation that will be happening in the U.S. Currently, the U.S. has data privacy laws or laws having to do with protecting data related to particular types of data. So we have laws on a federal level having to do with things like medical information, like HIPAA, information having to do with finance or financial stuff, like the Graham-Leahy bill. We have federal laws having to do with minors online and things like that. But currently, the U.S. does not have a comprehensive data privacy law that consumers can use and rely on, having to do with data privacy or the privacy of their data overall and how businesses use their data. Currently, the CCPA, which is going into full effect on January 1st, 2020, will be the most comprehensive data privacy law in the United States because it will cover data that any company uses of consumers in the state of California, regardless of where they're located, in terms of what they do with the data, what type of transparency they give. They have to be able to have the person opt out of their data use. And if they need to actually have things like data portability, where they want to take their data and move to another company, they can do that. Everyone's looking very closely at the CCPA, and because other states have privacy laws, like states like Illinois, which has the BIPA biometric law, we have Texas, Vermont, which has a data broker law. The state of New York is looking to pass something that has something like a data fiduciary type of description in it, meaning that they want to be able to equate data with money so that people get an idea of how companies are utilizing their data and put a price tag on it so the businesses and consumers can understand the cost of data and the revenue that's being generated by it. The CCPA, because it's going into effect now, a lot of businesses are bracing for other states to follow behind the state of California as they have done in the past. For example, in 2003, the state of California was the first state to have a data breach notification law, and now all 50 states have data breach notification laws, but they're all different by state. So businesses are very concerned that something like the CCPA, as broad as it is, could spread across different states, but it may have a different flavor from state to state, which makes it hard to manage any type of compliance with the law. So again, there's pressure from businesses. Consumers are going to be becoming more aware, if they're not already, about how their data is used, and try to ask for some type of transparency around that, so that there is heating pressure on the federal government to try to pass some type of data privacy legislation that's more broad. Currently, Democrats and Republicans in Washington are looking to try to draft bills. Actually, they have drafted some bills to see if they can pass them having to do with data privacy laws in the U.S., but they are probably more different than similar. And of course, there are sticking points having to do with things like the right of people to actually have transparency, the right of people to request that things be deleted or returned, and mostly the private right of action, meaning they don't want a wave of class action lawsuits related to how businesses are handling data currently. So 2020 will be a very interesting year in the U.S. as all these things get sorted out. Thank you.